Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies and the Success Strategist, bringing you week 42 of Spotlight on Success. Cybersecurity for small business and why this is so important. Increasingly, critical focus has been put on the cyber threats as they continue to grow in complexity and frequency. While large corporations often make headlines for data breaches, small businesses are frequently targeted because they are perceived as having weaker defenses. Here's a deeper exploration of key considerations and trends related to cybersecurity for small businesses. You see before you a lineup of the things that we as small business owners and entrepreneurs, solopreneurs need to be thinking about. And that is the growing threat landscape, costly consequences, budget constraints and resource challenges, best practices for cybersecurity in small businesses, compliance with data privacy regulations, cyber insurance for small businesses, as well as emerging trends and solutions. In the first bucket, we need to understand how small businesses are facing cyber attacks. And that's often through the lens of phishing and social engineering, where employees are targeted through fraudulent emails, texts, and websites. The second is driving awareness and support and defenses against ransomware attacks, where hackers encrypt a company's data and demand payment to restore access. The next is a malware, malicious software that can infect a business's systems, disrupt operations, and steal data. Next would be insider threats. Those employees or contractors through malicious or negligent means who can expose sensitive information, often unintentionally. So that's the growing threat landscape. Now, if we do have one of these different issues or challenges arise, what are the potential consequences that a cybersecurity breach can have? Because it can be devastating to solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. The first is financial loss. There can be recovery costs from ransomware data breaches that can run into the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. Secondarily, reputation damage. Customers are likely to lose trust in a business that fails to protect their data, leading to loss of business and long-term damage to the brand. And third is regulatory penalties, because if they have non-compliance with data protection regulations such as GDPR or CCPA, this can result in significant fines. And so what do those two things equate to? We have budget constraints and resource challenges. So one of the main hurdles that small businesses face is both limited budgets and technical expertise to implement strong security measures. This challenge ultimately makes them vulnerable, and they often lack the financial resources to hire full-time cybersecurity professionals or invest in advanced security tools. There are some affordable solutions, and managed services are becoming much more accessible. So as we advise solopreneurs and entrepreneurs in this space, we want to draw heightened attention to managed security service providers, because small businesses are increasingly turning to them to outsource their cybersecurity needs, because they can then benefit from professional security without the cost of maintaining in-house teams. Secondarily, they are focused on cloud-based security solutions because those are often very scalable and cost-effective for protecting small businesses, providing everything from threat detection to response solutions. Next would be a focus on best practices for cybersecurity. We want to ensure that small businesses can strengthen their cybersecurity defenses by focusing on a few essential practices. One is employee training. We need to educate our staff and our contractors about the dangers of phishing, social engineering, and how to recognize suspicious activity, especially when it's the critical first line of defense. We want to ensure that we're implementing multi-factor authentication because it adds an additional layer of security beyond passwords, reducing the likelihood of unauthorized access. We also want to focus on regular software updates and patch management, ensuring that all our systems and applications are up to date with the latest security patches because it minimizes vulnerabilities. And then we want to have backup and recovery plans and focus on heightened network security. So regularly backing up critical data and having a recovery plan in place can mitigate the effects of ransomware and data loss. In the network security area, installing firewalls, antivirus software, and intrusion detection systems oftentimes helps to protect the business's network from external threats. The next one is being cognizant of the plethora of data privacy regulations. These are only getting more complex with the fielding of AI. So we want to make sure that we have the basics in place first, and that we then can harness the complex optimization and efficiency solutions that help drive our businesses forward. These three are GDPR for businesses handling data from EU citizens, as well as just being spun up on what this needs, because it helps us deepen our data privacy governance and maturation areas of our businesses. So we want to stay on top of local and global regulations, not only related to data privacy, but cybersecurity. And compliance requirements can vary depending on industry, location, and non-compliance can result in severe penalties. Common regulatory frameworks that small businesses should be aware of include, again, GDPR, CCPA for California residents, that California Consumer Privacy Act, and HIPAA for businesses in healthcare. We will take a later session and deep dive in each of these areas because it's too much for one, mostly driving awareness of what we need to do. Next, we can drive engagement by deep diving and create champions and advocate for policy reform in these nascent AI and ethics area going forward. The last two is cyber insurance for small businesses. As cybersecurity threats rise, many small businesses are considering cyber insurance, and a lot of places now, a lot of contractual support for clients and customers are now requiring that small businesses have this because it mitigates potential losses. So cyber insurance policies can cover expenses related to data breaches, including legal fees, notification costs, and recovery efforts. While this doesn't help prevent an attack, like we talked about in our best practices for security in small business area, it does help reduce the financial impact if a breach were to occur. And then last but not least is emerging trends and solution, AI and machine learning and cybersecurity. AI-powered tools are helping businesses detect anomalies and respond to cyber threats faster than traditional methods. These solutions are becoming more affordable and accessible, making them viable for smaller organizations. Zero trust architecture, the principle of never trust, always verify, is gaining traction. Small businesses are implementing zero trust frameworks to limit access to their networks, ensuring that even trusted insiders have access to what's necessary. And then security as a service. As the demand for cybersecurity grows, many service providers now offer security as a service packages, allowing small businesses to implement strong security measures without heavy upfront investments. So in conclusion, cybersecurity for small business is no longer optional. It's a critical aspect of business continuity and success. success. With the right combination of training, technology, and strategic planning, small businesses can safeguard their operations against evolving cyber threats. So proactively addressing cybersecurity not only protects businesses from financial and reputational harm, it also builds trust with customers and partners in an increasingly digital world. So again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, the Success Strategist, bringing you week 42 of Spotlight on Success, our way of offering you tidbits and gold nuggets for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders looking to scale and grow your businesses 10 to 25x. You can reach us at www.gblinnovstratllc.com so we can help you scale your organization to exponential success. That's it for today, folks. We look forward to serving you next week with week 43 on Spotlight on Success.